o'clock because I know you got to go.
All right, we're good.
All right, so today we're going to go over the patient monitor. So one of the things that you're going to notice with the monitor is that this is the entire unit. The monitor is non-magnetic. It's going to be attached to this MR safe pole, and you'll see the logo back here. It'll give you the MR safe pole. That's true with the pump as well. So you can take this anywhere inside the room with the magnets. You don't have to worry about limitations as to where you can go. The thing with the monitor is you're going to have a couple different things involved with it. The first thing you're going to see on here is the ability to read SpO2. So this is an example of what that's going to look like with the pod and the pulse ox. This is for your SpO2. The second is for the ECG. So I've just given you an example of what that's going to look like once it's connected. This is your electrodes, and this is the ECG. So I'll go over that here in a little bit. And then behind that, I don't know if you can see that, we're going to have a base station and a remote, which I'll go over. So with the base station and remote, similar to how the pump works with the remote, these are going to be inside the control room. So this base station is not going to move from there. So we just have it out here for demonstration purposes. The base station is there to communicate with both the remote and the monitor. So in an ideal situation, when you have your patient hooked up, whether it's with the pump or the monitor or just the monitor, you can have the monitor go in there. This is going to be inside the control room, and then this allows a doctor or any clinician, nurses, to be able to view the patient's information from anywhere inside that room. So this has a way to communicate with the base, as well as this communicating with the base, so everything works. And so everything is working right now. It's essentially a slave to the monitor. So if you ever get to turn everything on and it's not communicating, you got to make sure on the top left-hand corner that it's set to the same exact frequency. So right now it's on channel 7. The base station is saying channel 7, and the monitor is saying channel 7. In the event it's not on the same channel, you turn this remote on and say it's on channel 6, or this is on channel 6, you're going to hear the beeping as soon as you turn on. It's essentially saying I'm on, but I can't find a pairing. So all you would do, since this is touchscreen, is go ahead and link it to the same channel, and you should be good to go. And the same can be said with the monitor itself. You just would be able to touch the screen and then select the channel that you want to be on. And with the base station, you would just hit this little yellow button right here, and you just toggle through the channels. So it'll give you up to 8 channels. So it'll just go to 8, and then it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you just toggle that. So on the back of the space station, if you don't see this number when you go in, this remote will not work. So you got to make sure that you toggle the on-off button in the back. If you want to see that, you're going to see this little on button. So right now it's set to on. So you want to make sure that's turned on. And then this actually mounts back on here if you're perfectly okay where it's situated. So you have that there, okay? So going on to the monitor, once you have your monitor here, you can actually see all the different monitoring abilities that you have. So you have essentially ECG, and keep in mind everything's touchscreen that we're doing. So if we were to click on the ECG, we can set our parameters for the alarms to be higher and lower, and you can do this, there we go, sliding in and out. You can do that, or you can toggle on and off on the sides. There we go. And then from here, we have one trace lead going. This is a 5-lead system. We can actually set it to have 2 leads going at the same time if you wanted to. What's the benefit of that? This allows you to have different views of the heart. If your trace 1 isn't as good as your trace 3, you can do that by comparing them both real time. So you can see which one's better. And once you find the one you like, you can just turn the second one off so you have one going at all times. Okay, you can actually change the sweep rate as well if you wanted to. You can actually change the scaling as well. So if you want a bigger scaling, you can do that as well. So you have the ability to kind of play around with it and just see what you want is what you get by just pressing on that segment. So right now we're on ECG. Same thing with SpO2. We can go ahead and select SpO2, drag our parameters if we want. Same thing with end-tidal CO2. We can drag our parameters, and then blood pressure as well. We can set our parameters where we want it. So again, this is just showing you all the capabilities that you have within the monitor, and this is on simulation mode. You can turn this on. When you turn it on from off, you would just click on either monitor or on, all. It's the same thing. Doesn't matter if it's to the right or to the left, it's just going to be on. But you always got to make sure that it's set to MRI. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to default it to set to MRI, but just in case somebody touched it and it's set to monitor, that will give you issues in the scan. You got to make sure it's set to MRI because it turns on all the filters. Okay. With that said, let's go over to the pods. Pods work pretty easy. So it's a 3-color system. Green means off, red means off, and yellow means changing channel. So as soon as I turn it on, it's going to find the channel that we're on. Keep in mind we've set it to 7, our remote's set to 7, our base station's set to 7, so these pods also have to be set to 7. So I don't know if you can see that all the way there. I can come closer if you need me to.
No.
Okay. I don't know if it's set. Here we go. So right here we have different channels that you can toggle. You can set 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll see the alternate channel light turn on. That means it's going from channel 5, 6, and as soon as we click it on the right channel that we want, you'll see that light that says connected turn on. And then I'm using this yellow button to change the channel. So that just gives you a good idea on how to do that. And it's the exact same thing with the ECG. So as I turn that on, make sure it's on the right channel. It is. It'll say connected, and so you're ready to go. Okay, so as far as the ECG is concerned, the electrodes placement, you'll see on the package itself, it'll kind of give you an indication of where to kind of place them, but I'll demonstrate on myself where you can place them. But you can also place these anywhere from pediatrics all the way up to adults. So if you were to use this on pediatrics, you can use 3 of them if you want, or you can use all 5 and just kind of stick them on like this. For adults, you can tear these off, and you would put one here, right above the nipple line, and then the bottom 2 would go right on the rib line there, one here, and then the middle would go right underneath the nipple there. So again, this gives you an idea of what that looks like right there. There's also going to be guides hanging on here for your reference if you ever want to look at how to put them on here. There's going to be a guide, I forget which page it is. It's going to show you. And this also gives you an idea too, guys, on how to operate the unit. Where is that guide? Huh. There's another guide. I'll make sure you guys have the guide on placement on here. It looks like you guys don't have it on here. But again, this operations manual helps you kind of maneuver through the patient monitor, and then this kind of helps you in real time, just gives you a bigger print how to operate the pods and the monitor and remote itself. Okay, but I just wanted to go over electrode placements because it's very important that you guys try to either clean off or shave off hair most of the times if you can. And then make sure that when you push down, there's this green goop that's back here. You don't press on that firmly. You just want to make sure to press firmly around it. So you don't want this spreading. So that's very important when you make the placement on these. So again, these tear off by doing that. So you can separate them, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 1 in the middle. Okay. With that said, what else can we go over with the monitor? So we have placements for the blood pressure, end-tidal CO2, and right here on the side. So for the cuff, it's just a push of the hose. It's just a push fit. So you push in, put the hose in, and then you would connect the hose onto your patient on the cuff. And then here, you have manual buttons to control that. So if I were to hit the blood pressure button, you can go ahead and have it go. As soon as you hit it, it starts inflating. Or you can set the blood pressure to go off of a cycle time. So you can set it anywhere from 3 minutes all the way up to 30 minutes, depending on your patient and the scan that you want to do. Okay, so you have that capability. End-tidal CO2 allows you to put a cannula on there. It's a lower lock fit. You put that on there, and it gives you the ability to read end-tidal CO2. Again, you can put the parameters, whatever you want, and then the sweep rate as to however you want. But as soon as they start breathing into it, this picks up the CO2, and you'll see the reading right off the bat on the patient monitor. I think that might be it with the monitor. You guys have any questions?